Okay, students, this is part 2. When the mother said to the child that see what is before you. So, what was before him? It was a flowering mustard field, pale and melting gold as it swept across miles and miles of even land. A group of dragonflies were bustling about on their gaudy purple wings, anticipating the flight of a lone black bee or butterfly in search of sweetness from the flowers. The child followed them in the air with his gaze, till one of them would still its wing and rest he would try to catch it, but it would go flapping up into the air. When he had almost caught it in his hands, then his mother gave a cautionary call, "Come, child, come," on onto the footpath. Students, I am also watching through the camera. That's why I am having some problem in reading. Okay, so pale means dull and colorless, and gaudy means extremely bright. Okay, so the explanation of this paragraph is कि when the mother said na, when the mother said to the child कि see what is in front of you. So what was in front of him? There was a vast field full of bright yellow colored mustard flowers. Means there was a mustard field in front of the boy. They seemed like flowing streams of gold and were widespread. And how the mustard field was looking? The mustard field was looking like a stream of golds, a stream of gold. A group of dragonflies, black bees, and butterflies buzzed around, sucking the nectar from the flowers. So, what was there in the field? There was a group of dragonflies, black bees, and butterflies. They were just buzzing around, sucking, and what they were doing? They were sucking the nectar from the flowers. The child looked at them means butterflies, dragonflies, black bees, as they flew around. When they were just flying here and there, the boy was looking them. When one of sat somewhere, he tried to catch them, but the small creatures would fly away the next instant. The mother called out to him as they stared walking down the footpath. Means when he was busy looking all these things, butterflies, bees, and he was just lost in his thoughts, in his happiness. Then again he was called by his mother. Next paragraph. He ran towards his parents gaily and walked abreast of them for a while, being however soon left behind, attracted by the little insects and worms along the footpath. They were teeming out from their hiding places to enjoy the sunshine. Abreast means side by side and facing the same way. Okay. टीमिंग आउट का मतलब होता है टू pour or empty out. Okay, so what is the meaning of this paragraph? The child ran towards his parents because he was called by them, so he ran towards his parents. He walked next to them, but after few steps, means he walked with them, but after few steps he stopped to see the insects who were coming out of the soil. Once again the child was left behind. Means first he was left behind when he started observing the swings and toys, and after that he was engaged in watching the means happiness, sweetness of the mustard field, and now he left behind because he was busy in watching the insects who was coming out from their holes. Again, "Come, child, come," his parents called from the shade of a grove where they had seated themselves on the edge of a well. He ran towards them. Grove means a small wood or group of trees. Okay. So the parents call him. They sat next to a well under the shady trees. The child once again ran and joined his parents. He was again called by his parents. So he went there and joined his parents. Next paragraph. A shower of young flowers fell upon the child as he entered the grove, and forgetting his parents, he began to gather the raining petals in his hands. But lo, he heard the cooing of doves, and ran towards his parents, shouting, the dove. The raining petals dropped from his forgotten hands. So, what happened here? As a little child entered the shady forested area, it was a shady forested area, there were so many trees. So he was welcomed by a shower of flowers, means so many flowers fell on him. He forgot his parents and started collecting the petals that had fallen. So just then he, means when he was collecting the petals, at the same time he heard the cooing of doves and was excited to see them. So what he did, he started chasing the birds, and in this process the petals fell from his hand. He forgot about the petals now and started following the birds. So what this shows that as a child got attracted towards the next thing, he forgot what he had been doing earlier because he was a child. Okay, so next is again, come child come, they called to the child who had now gone running in the wild capers round the banyan tree, and gathering him up they took the narrow winding footpath which led to the fair through the mustard field. Okay. Capers means a playful skipping movement. Okay. So the parents called the child again. This time he was lost. He was busy seeing in. He was busy with the birds. So again he was called by his parents, who was running and playing around a banyan tree. Means the boy was running and playing around the banyan tree this time. They lifted him. Parents lifted him and walked down a narrow twisting lane through which they crossed the mustard field. Now they crossed the mustard field and reached the fair. So finally they reached the fair. Okay. As they Okay, so this is the end of second part. I will ask some question from second part related to second part, and after that third part, means I'll explain next part which will be third.